In the morning, Gordie
You big moose.
and Willhelm.
The grumpy gnome.
In the morning.
Well, hey there, I'm Gordie.
And I'm Wilhelm. Good morning.
I screwed up the jingle.
How you doing this morning, bud?
Good, if I didn't screw up the jingle.
No. Yeah. Practice stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. So, do you want to tell the folks what I did last week, or should I express my shame?
Last week you overslept, so...
Yep.
Yeah, so we didn't have an episode last week. Things happen. Life happens. But, you know, we're just starting out. We're just getting used to the scheduling and all those kinds of things. So it'll get better. It'll get more consistent. So, I mean, you know. But, of course, then if we talk about the first week, which that video has been put up on YouTube. It's missing the first 15 or so minutes. Technical difficulties, user error, whatever you want to call it.
Morning, Dr. Mom!
So, yeah, I mean, and just to kind of recap that 15 or 20 minutes that we lost on the first video, we were just introducing ourselves and the Moose Water Brigade and things like that, but we've kind of found a way to fix that, I suppose. We plan to introduce the brigade as we do the interviews with them. And we can tell stories along the way, and everybody can tell their story, I suppose, on how we met and became the group that we are today.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and yeah, we were maybe gonna get Jill on today, but he's a sleepy boy, so. He's a sleepy boy. That's okay. I can't say shit because last week, so. So, what do you want to cover first today?
Well,
Or do you want me to ramble on about the video games a little bit and then we'll move on?
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah? Alright, so, yeah, we, me, Jill, I think Brian's pretty much done, and Sainavi just finished, Pokemon Legends Arceus. The community said it was boring as fuck to watch, yet they were our best videos on the Twitch. So, and yet everybody wants to watch Monster Hunter, but those videos tend to do the worst. So, we're thinking of putting out a poll to see what games we should play. Like, we're still going to play Monster Hunter, because fuck you guys, I love Monster Hunter. But, maybe dedicated days to play other games that people in the community want. Not to mention, we talk about Jackbox and Cards Against Humanity all the fucking time, and we still haven't, like, set a day. I think we kind of need to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's just like our the PvP tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, we've talked about them.
That one you gotta yell at Jeremy for.
Well, yeah.
And not to mention our event we were gonna do that just completely got put on the fucking back burner.
Yeah, kind of a different form of Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
D&D style.
Yep. Well, now we got the DMs that could be the judges, like we were hoping.
Yeah, that's what we talked about initially.
Yeah.
Was having the players get in, and then letting the DMs be the judge, scoring system, whole nine yards. So.
Yeah.
I think I still have those notes somewhere, maybe.
It's somewhere buried on my hard drive. I don't friggin' know anymore.
Yeah. So I know we were going to score them on several different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we can definitely revisit that. So.
Oh, and just one more thing. Yeah, if you got a game you want us to play, that you want to see streamed so we can save the VODs and upload it to YouTube. We usually catch funny as shit moments. St. Nobby's really good at clipping that shit. Please comment, yell at us at the Discord, something.
Like
Please.
the rave dance last night?
My rave dance. Oh, yeah, he got that, eh?
Did he?
Yeah, so, okay. One last quick story. So, yeah, we were, Javin hopped in the chat, and I says, yeah, you know, I got to pick a new armor set because you can make your armor look like different sets. I says, Javin, you can pick it. So he picks this one with this long fucking 80s blonde hair, horns and all that. He's like, holy fuck, you look like you're going to a rave. I'm like, all right, I can play out the meme. So I pulled up rave music on Spotify, just started rocking out. He's like, oh, this is everything I wanted. This is the content I wanted. So that was for you, Javin. I love you, buddy. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I could suggest some video games, I suppose, but I don't know. I play games that either take too long to play and they're not worth streaming, you know, or games that nobody else plays, like I don't know, things like ESO and stuff like that. Nobody else plays it, so I'd be streaming it by myself.
Yeah, sorry, I can't. I wish I got you lip singing. Ha ha ha, sucker! Gotta be quick, faster than that, say.
Well, let's see. Did you want to tell the story of the actual story of Gordie and Willhelm?
The actual story, like how?
Well, I mean, talk about our characters, who they are, what they are, how they met, journeys they've been on. I mean, it is Gordie and Willhelm in the morning, so I figured over time, through different episodes, we could give people a little bit about ourselves.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, I watched the VOD from 2 weeks ago, and yeah, we didn't actually do a deep dive on our characters themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Totally.
Kind of a long game, I suppose. You know, talk a little bit about them this episode, a little bit more the next episode, a little bit more the next episode, that kind of stuff.
All right, you start because I was snoring last night and my throat's sore. So.
All right. Well, so my main character, Willhelm Abisadarian. He is a 130-year-old, 3.5-foot rock gnome, battlesmith artificer. Has two little fellas that travel with him. Misfit is my still defender, solid black steel bull mastiff, full size, so works as a mount for me. He has been taught to bark, smile, and kind of nod in agreement when he understands things. And then, and I guess the story of Misfit, Willhelm grew up in the South, left home, traveled, eventually made his way to Baldur's Gate, and was alone at the time, but saw dogs and saw companion type deals, and so that's what made him decide to build Misfit. But he also knew that traveling could be dangerous, so he found a smith to fashion a double-edged, razor-sharp blade that's attached to Misfit's tail. And so that's kind of the offensive/defensive side. And then a little more recently, I created another construct. His name is George. He is a clockwork flump. And the different, I don't know, what do flumps have? Tentacles? Is that the proper term?
Yeah.
They all do different things. His main form of attack is a flamethrower, basically. One tentacle has sparking mechanism, and another tentacle releases oil, and through force they shoot flames out. So, yeah, a fire-breathing flump, if you will.
Yeah.
And let's see. Probably the biggest controversy over Willhelm is that he's not a tank.
He's a fucking tank. Get over yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. He's built well, I suppose. Currently, with all of the abilities and infusions and stuff, my resting AC is 21. My to hit is, I don't know, +9 or +10 or something. So yeah, he tends to be seen in the front quite a bit. So anyway, yeah, so that's just a quick down and dirty on Willhelm. What about Gordie?
Well, Gordie Muselton was, I should mention this, was an 84-year-old barbarian Musatar, which is just a reskin Minotaur, because I'm ridiculous. But, my last game at a certain service, I decided to chug mine and Gurin's collection of Potion of Longevity. There was 6 total, and Gordie's resting age now is 65. So I might get another 20 years out of him. Who knows? So, anyway, yeah. So Gordie, he used to be a woodsman back in the day. He left town at 18. Stumbled upon a small mountain village in his early 20s, decided to work around there, make some, do some homesteading up there. And then a curse hit the town, or not a curse, a plague hit the town. A lot of people got sick, and he didn't know what to do, so he tried going to the nearest town, which happens to be Mirabar, and tried to solicit aid from the clergy, from the priests. But he didn't understand the concept of gold, and I don't know if you know much about dwarven priests, but they're greedy bastards. So he ended up, to make the gold, to afford the care of the villagers, he ended up falling into a bad group of folk. Then, long story short, he was like a highwayman, mostly a bandit. And then they tried to make him cross the line he wouldn't cross. He refused. And they left him for dead on the side of a highway till a giantess druid found him, got him back up on his feet, showed him the ways of Sylvanus, as I like to jokingly call him. And, he became kind of a warden of the forest. He met his wife Jessie, who was a druid. Settled down, have a whole slew of kids, created the Muselton Maple Shack and Muselton Lumber. And then in his twilight years, in his retirement years, he's like, you know what? I heard tale of all these adventuring folks going out and having all these cool adventures. Maybe I'll give my horns into it. And then he met you schmucks, and now he's fully addicted.
That has a tavern named after him.
Well, that was my idea. Everybody keeps saying, oh, it was like, and no one actually knows the original name of the tavern that I got vetoed on.
Hey, I tried to keep it.
I know you did.
When I made the first map, I even labeled it, and everybody was like, yeah, no.
Yeah. So should I tell that story or save it for another day?
Yeah, we'll save that one for another day.
Okay. But yeah.
I mean, it was the naming of the tavern, the building of the tavern, everything. I mean, it was a collective decision. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just everybody loves Gordie.
Don't know why.
It's just kind of. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I think about it now. Moose Water Tavern. It just I don't even think about its origin. It just flows. It just sounds good. So yeah, I can't imagine.
Much like the fine drinks you can buy yourself at the Moosewater Tavern, flows just right.
Was it Dragon's Fire? Dragon's Breath? Dragon's Breath.
Except that shit.
That's Terrorless's favorite drink.
Yeah, what is it? A fucking DC 17 con save?
Something like that.
Otherwise, you get. Yeah, and then you get knocked the fuck out. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't even remember who made that drink. Who came up with it?
That one. I know Gio was in that game. I know it had something to do with the moonbeam spell to cook it.
Right.
We're gonna have to get one of them on to tell the story because it's a really good story. Yeah. Probably get Terry in or Jeremy. Jeremy was there too. The three of them. Yeah, you get the three of those guys together and good luck.
Yeah, I mean, Say's right. Essentially, Dragon's Breath is moonshine because it's. It's distilled by Moonbeam, so.
Oh fuck! I never even thought of that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, before that.
Of course, Gordie and Willhelm, the characters themselves met in our first outing in the online D&D gaming deal that we first started with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what the first adventure was, but
that would have been a mall, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Creepy spider lady.
Yeah, and we didn't necessarily connect right away.
No, but after what, the third game?
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 or 3 games in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of became a thing. David and Goliath kind of situation, I suppose. But on a positive side.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to. I don't know. Later episode, we'll have to talk about our shenanigans, talk about the platform and that kind of stuff.
God bless Tim. He put up with so much shit from us. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. The one thing I always forget is my little clockwork dragon.
Yeah, and you had to roll 3 Arcana and 3 Tinkering, right?
Just the Tinker Tools.
Just the Tinker. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but back then I only had let's say it was my proficiency, so it was a +3.
Yeah. Then +3 from your end, right?
Yeah. I think it was a +2 or 3. I don't remember because I don't remember if that was pre-level 4, pre-ASI.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So I think my int might have only been a +2 at the time. So regardless, I was pushing a +5 or +6 to roll on my Tinker's tools. Not like today where I'm pushing a +12.
Yeah. Yeah, and I only get that with my smithing tools because of my multi-class. Fuck.
Yeah. So.
I still don't actually have smithing tools, by the way. I know you say that you can just make them, but
Well, so I can make you a set of smith tools, but the problem is once you use them, they're gone.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way that works. So, if you got a project or something, yeah, I can make you a set. Use them for what you got to use them for. Then they're gone. Come up with another project, make you another set.
Yeah.
Or you can just, go buy you some.
We're probably going to do that because, I used, when I worked on the railroad, if you touch another man's tools, you're getting a wrench upside the head. That's a no-no.
Well, like I said, if I make you a set of tools, I don't care. Now, if you step into my shop, that's a different story. Come into my forge and you touch something, you better put it back where you found it.
I haven't decided if Gordie has dementia yet to excuse some of the bullshit he does. So.
Well, true. Yeah, but of course you've lost, 25 years now?
Yeah, but he didn't tell Willhelm about that.
Well, no, I know.
I decided I wasn't going to tell the brigade about it. He's just like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good lately. I don't know.
A little more spry than I used to be.
Yeah, 60 to 80, man. That's a big difference.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I guess my question would be though, I mean,
Thank you.
let's say that you were pushing 90 and you were developing dementia, and you take the potion and you lose 20 or gain 20 years, I suppose. Does that cause your dimension to regress, or are now you just younger and still forgetful as hell?
This is fucking magic, man. I don't fucking know. We're going to have to talk to a future Moosewater Brigade DM to discuss such things. If there will be such a thing, so maybe.
Oh, Dr. Mom says secrets always catch up to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know. Trust me, I'm playing a warlock in another campaign. I know. Everybody's like, what's Farno's story? What's he doing? And I'm like, oh, shit.
He's a cult lock. That's what he is.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. I was actually thinking about doing another fucking cult gathering at Vigil's Keep, but I'm like, no, not everywhere we go. Gotta save it.
We gotta figure out how to get back to Vigil's Keep first of all.
Oh yeah, fucking Shadowfell.
So.
Yeah, I missed that session because I was cleaning up baby puke. How and why are we in Shadowfell?
So okay, you remember when we went through the cabin deal and went down in that little cave and
Yeah.
okay, so when we got down there was a whole bunch of people that pulled out, and then there was the young girl in the cell, and then there was another I think it was a gray elven figure that was in another cell.
Yeah.
So we took both of them out, kept the elf dude captive, basically took him back to the tavern, and everybody kind of got a night's rest or whatever. And the following morning, he told us that he could, because we're looking for the Star Singer, and he told us that he could take us to where they took her. And so everybody agreed. He opened a portal. We all stepped through it. And then when we arrived inside of another building. If I remember right, it was kind of like a storage building type deal. But the entire building was surrounded by ravens. But the captive dude was nowhere to be found. So he disappeared mid-transport.
Yeah. Well, if he's, Ty knows a lot about the Shadowfell.
Right.
But, because, he's obviously Shatterkai, so they can teleport.
Right.
Not to mention, the Shadowfell. Do you know much about the Shadowfell?
I don't. That's one thing that I haven't done a lot of research on yet, which I need to now, I suppose. Or I could just, sustain ignorance and let it play out.
Yeah, okay, so, do you want a brief covering here?
Go ahead. Yeah,
So, picture you got the prime material plane flat, right? The Feywild is as if you just took a sheet and dropped it over your prime material plane. It's almost like a mirror of it that's changed. So picture Feywild as like everything that's good in the world, ramped up, everything chaotic. And then underneath you got the Shadowfell, which is like your hell.
Right.
That's everything is lifeless, gray, dull, muted, horrible, undeath, Feywild's full of life, Shadowfell's full of death, kind of thing. So when he describes things and interactions that are similar to what we experienced on the Prime, that's because it is an exact mirror of it. We are in that. Technically, we are standing where would be at the Prime. Like, let's say we go to Moosewater. If you go to the Moosewater Tavern in the Shadowfell, there might be some haunted, fucked up version of it with horrid, vampiric, or destructive patrons, and you know what I mean? Like, the Shadowfell twists things in that kind of way. So keep that in mind when you like he described in that one village scene how people were serving us food similar to what it was in the village. That was
Right.
yeah, that was a dark mirror of what we experienced on the Prime.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Ty knows that shit. Var no. You don't know.
Yeah.
No, I fucking love the Shadowfell for like any homebrew campaign I'm ever gonna do. The final like big bads are always gonna be from either the Netherese Empire or something to do with the Shadowfell.
Well, that's kind of messed up. As terrified as you are of Netherese, and you're going to make that your big bad in a campaign you run.
Yeah, because I know how to use them. Like all those Forgotten Realms novels I read, like I think it was no, lost his name. He did there's one author that went all about the Shadowvar, the Shadowkai, the Netherese Empire, like a whole 3-novel set about it, and it's just fascinating what you learn about it. So, and then some of the novels dip into it and just make it so fucking horrifying that, yeah, I'm gonna use that shit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. Speaking of the Netherese, we'll leave that alone for now. But
oh yeah, I told you.
see what happens.
I fucking told you. Don't let him do anything with Netheril. Did you guys listen to me? Nope.
Hey, well, first of all, okay, so I'm the only one that sent a message about ideas on that session. And I said, let's go south or whatever, let's go do this other thing. But also I leave it up to the DM. Nobody else spoke up. So
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair. And
honestly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, I didn't want to say anything because we already our previous story was pretty Gordie centric, so I kind of wanted to take a step back.
Yeah, well, and I have a feeling too, just based on the message he sent me, that it really wouldn't have mattered what everybody said. He already had his plan, so it was gonna go that way regardless.
Yeah.
So
Evil
but
bastard.
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, we struggled, but we got through it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that we all still have our fingers and toes, but we got through it.
Yeah, he really lent a hand, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
You'll get it.
Yes.
I promise. In
Yes.
the future, you'll get it.
yeah, I guess it's true that some things in life really do cost an arm and a leg. But anyway. So yeah. Anyway, well, you said oh shoot, where'd my little sticky note go? Oh, there it is. You said something about talking about Monsters of the Multiverse.
Oh, yes.
Oh, more than cake.
Did you got it pulled up there?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple different things pulled up. Just obviously, I don't want to give out false information, and I mean, I guess I should put out there that we're neither sponsored nor endorsed by Wizards of the Coast or anything like that, and 95% of everything you hear on this show is opinion. So if we do say something wrong, put out some wrong information, please forgive us, and feel free to send us a message and say, hey, you're wrong, here's the truth.
Yep. Theo will yell at us.
Yeah, 100% you will. But yeah, so May 17th is when it is supposed to come out singularly. I mean, it's out now with the 3-book combo pack, Tasha's and Xanathar's, and then Monsters of the Multiverse.
Isn't that like a $300 set or something?
No, I've seen it for like 160, 170.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
I mean, in your neck of the woods, that's probably 200 plus, but
Oh, yeah, probably.
but yeah, I've seen it for like 160. But But yeah, so singularly, it's going to drop mid-May. Um,
They're doing
30, I think 30 or 33 playable races, um, 250 monsters. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, they've made a lot of changes to the playable races.
mm-hmm.
For one, like dwarves from I don't know, Faerun, Spine of the World area, and dwarves from Eberron, and dwarves from wherever else. Like that all kind of goes away. Um, People will be able to choose their own origin, um, so that it's not like as it stands right now. From what I understand in reading stuff, you know, the way it stands right now is that um, you know, if you pick a certain uh, race to play, then there's certain aspects to your background that apply just simply because of where you're from.
Yeah.
So, like, technically, when Wilhelm was first created, because of how he was created in the source books that were available at the time, Wilhelm was created from Ebron.
Yeah.
However, that's not where I wanted him to be from, so that's not where he's from. Kind of took that liberty on myself, but that's some of the things that they're talking about as far as changing the way that that kind of stuff works. Taking those pieces out of it so that you're not hindered by anything. And the other thing too is taking away like the alignments where, you know, this race is like always evil or always chaotic all the time. They're taking that away, so that'll be a choice. I mean, you can be, you know, a lawful good goblin if you want to. I mean, the alignments don't make a big deal.
But my thought on it, sorry to interject there,
No,
but
go ahead.
my thought on that was when you create a character, I mean, that's the whole point of D&D is customization. Like,
Right.
fucking Drisdor, the most famous fucking D&D character of all time, is a lawful good drow. So, I mean, them putting it in writing, yeah, sure, that's great, but I don't think that was ever like a hard rule. Like, is there really a DM out there that's gonna say, no, you're playing a goblin, so you gotta be a chaotic little fuck toy? No, like,
Right. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think by changing it in the text though, it takes any argument out. You know, so now,
oh, okay,
well, because like you said, I mean, is there a DM out there that does that? Well, if there is, they can't anymore, and any future DMs wouldn't be able to do that. They wouldn't be able to force you to play a certain way because you chose a certain race. You know what I mean?
yeah, because that wouldn't be a table I'd ever play at. Then,
Right.
fuck that.
And then the other aspect where uh, certain races get certain ability bonuses. Of course, we've all known about that ever since Tasha's came out.
Yeah,
But they are going to put it in. It's going to be in Masha the Multiverse 2 as like an official overall core rule that you can apply whatever ability bonuses, ability score increases you want, however you want to do it.
yeah, we saw that coming, like Van Richten's and Witchlight. That was the main change of that. And then Fizbin's, as soon as we saw Fizbin's, we're like, okay, yeah, this is definitely where they're gonna take the customization. And they're even adding shit. Like Theo took a picture of the Minotaur stat block and sent it to me, and they added. See if I can pull it up real quick. They added an extra feature, and they didn't take anything away, which I was super shocked by.
Oh well.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. So, I still have my horns, 1d6 plus strength. Still got my goring rush, so if I take the dash action, I can make a melee attack with my horns as a bonus. Still got my hammering horns, thank God. Does it still push him 10 feet? Yeah, it does. But now they added Labyrinthine Recall. Labyrinthine? Whatever. You always know which direction is north, and you have advantage on any wisdom survival check you make to navigate or track.
Wow.
That's not bad. That's a, you know, that's mostly flavor, but great flavor. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Musatar, I mean, uh, I discussed it when I wrote that Origin of the Musatar thing. Just swap out caves with forests, dense forests. Same thing. So.
One of the things I found interesting about Monsters of the Multiverse is that it was actually supposed to come out like 2 years ago. I think. I think it was in the beginning of 21, sometime in 20. I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of the things that we have seen, um, like the Owlin, the Haragon,
Mm.
the changes to the kobolds, the turtle, um, like all of those are going to be written in text um, in this book. Like, I mean, actually put into print. So, like, you can get the digital copy of the turtle stats and stuff, um, but all of that stuff that we've seen in the Unearthed Arcana and things like that, they've been slowly releasing stuff because of the delay on this book.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff was intended for this book from the beginning. But with like supply chain issues and stuff, delayed them on getting it printed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of things in here that we kind of already know or we've seen before, but it should be done in more with more description and more understanding and things like that.
Yeah.
So I just found that kind of interesting. I did also find a complete list, all 250 monsters that are going to be in this book. And I mean, some of them already exist, but they've adjusted. They've gone through and tweaked a bunch of them to be more fitting to their CR. Some of them have been given. One of the things I read said that they've been tweaked to the point where, like, maybe they've been given a new ability or their abilities have changed or whatever. But the intent is to make them versatile in combat. So, like, you can use them in this type of combat situation, but you can also use them in this type of combat situation, and they still work.
Yeah.
Because of their abilities and stuff. So really pushing them up to where they fit the proper CR and things like that. So.
Well, the biggest and kind of coolest change Theo was talking to me about was spellcasting monsters. Like, I know he mentioned the Dragonoid mage from Fizbin's as kind of the precursor to this. Apparently, they're overhauling spellcasting that monsters do and actually incorporating it as part of their multi-attack or action. So, like, if I could be getting this wrong, because he went on a 20-minute tangent about it, and I'm trying to remember it, but yeah, he said the spellcasting is incorporated right into their action, like stab, burning hands kind of thing. Like, it's fucking.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, they changed the spellcasting monsters quite a bit. I mean, once it releases, we should probably scoop up a couple DMs to sit down and talk about it. But
Absolutely.
how it's going to change their games and that, because I'd be interested to know what this change means. Because I mean, if they're giving extra things to the players, it means they're setting the monsters up to have a little more teeth. So we'll see.
Well, and I need to get it pre-ordered on Beyond. I haven't done it yet, but I'll get it ordered on Beyond, and of course I'll order a hard copy of it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. Working on trying to create my own world and stuff, because I think that this will help a whole lot too. Because when my world gets built, I'll be able to use the most recent versions of the monsters.
Yeah.
And not have to go back and change a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, even me, when I sit down to do a one shot or whatever to write it, It's usually overarching theme I'm going for, and then cool monsters I want to use. Those are the two things. So, reading through this, if I see something really fucking cool, I'll write a fucking whole one-shot just based on that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh, and one thing I did want to mention. So, last episode, I was talking about maybe running some games on the Discord.
Yes.
That is going to be put on hold because we have plenty of very experienced, very phenomenal DMs on our Discord that still have empty seats in their games.
Yes.
So, if you're a newcomer and you're watching this, please head on over to the Moosewater Tavern Discord. Links down below. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Twitch, plenty of games. DMs are very approachable. Our DMs are phenomenal. Rose, Jill, Theo, we got Tim, we got Jamie, we got, and then we also acquired some new DMs that I'm not familiar with, but I've heard great things. They haven't posted any games yet because they're kind of fielding it, waiting for more players. But yeah, please check it out, sign up for some games, and meet some pretty great folks. So,
And we're going to try and get the DMs on here for interviews too. This last Wednesday when I played the Request of the Kobolds with Steven, I talked to him about whether or not he was going to run games in Discord, and he said he's got a Friday night game off Discord that he's working on right now, but once that's kind of settled, he's going to look into trying to get some games going through Discord. So, and he was super fun to play with. I mean, that's the first time that, like, he was part of our Honey Heist game as a player, and then so that was the first time that I played with him where he was DMing, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I think he's a great guy, and I think he's going to be a great DM. So.
oh, he's outstanding. He actually covered for Dan a few times.
Oh, okay.
And like, you know, I played with him as a player a couple times. I'm like, yeah, this dude's pretty chill. And then, but I mean, in my mind, I'm like, you're covering for Dan, you better fucking bring it. And he fucking brought it. And he was a lot of fun to oh yeah, he was a lot of fun to play with. I can't recommend Steven enough.
Yeah, good deal. So yeah, I mean, but we're building the pool of DMs. Like you said, there's a lot of games. Still have some empty seats.
Yeah.
And we've got games pretty much every day of the week now, don't we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean, and people are just waiting to fill those seats because they still want to run more. Right. So we got the availability. We just need to get butts in seats, and that's a big part of why we're doing this, is to try to reach out and please come play with us because we have lots of D&D games going. We got people. We got people that want to run Cthulhu. We got people that want to run Deadlands Reloaded. Someone mentioned Exalted, Pathfinder, fucking Warhammer. Like, we got people that want to run all these games. They just need the folks with the time and money to do so. So,
I did put myself down, accepted, as it were, on the bounty board for an upcoming Friday night game. I don't remember when it starts. It starts in February. Well, I guess this is February, huh?
oh, fuck me, it is.
I think the first game is the 25th. So that'd be the end of February. But Vampire the Masquerade.
You're doing Vampire?
Dude. I have, like, a thing for vampires, bro.
I know, I just can't see you... I guess it depends on the tone of the vamp. Like, because the only Vampire the Masquerade I've seen was the Geek and Sundry show with, like, Erika Ishii and tall, gangly dude. I can't remember his fucking name. But it just seemed, like, really Twilight-y. And I was like, sorry?
The DM that's going to run this one has already said that she plans on it being straight up horror.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So
Actually, it's been delayed up till the summer. Rose just updated. LA by night.
Okay.
LA by night. Yeah, that's the Geek and Sundry show. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if you like, yeah, that's my idea. That's my favorite idea of vampires. Like, you gotta lean into the horrific nature of what they are. Like Hellsing Ultimate, still my favorite, all time favorite anime, because Alucard is fucking terrifying. So.
well, let's see. Being able to lean into it. I know the history of Vlad the Impaler.
Yep.
I did research and did a paper in college. Did a whole research term paper thing on the history of vampires. Vlad the Impaler, and going into like Bram Stoker and how he created Dracula and the research that he did with it. I have a book. It's kind of a reprint. What I don't know the right word, but it's based like a sanguinomicon kind of deal, but just a kind of a book for sanguines, things like that. Yeah, and at one point in my life, believe it or not, I actually talked to a dentist about having my canines removed and doing implants.
No shit.
Yeah, straight up.
That'd be metal as fuck.
Yeah, and I actually I don't remember, somebody told me, I don't remember if it was Dr. Mom or not. Somebody told me at one time, though, said, before you do that, think about one thing. I said, what's that? Think about your grandkids. Like, you're going to scare the shit out of your grandkids.
Yeah, that's half the fun.
Yeah. I mean, I never did it. Part of it, too, was like, because I found out they'd have to pull my teeth, and then I would just have to be like, no canines, no nothing for like 6 months.
Oh.
Because they put the rods in, they gotta let everything heal, and then like 6 months later they go back and do the implants. And I'm not a vain person, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I could go 6 months without having those teeth. So I was like, yeah, maybe not.
I don't know. My dad's gone 40 years without his front four. He's just got his canines hanging out. Oh, my dad's hilarious. See, I'm more werewolf. I love the origin stories of Celtic wolfmen and the Anglo-Saxon people seeing Norse barbarians for the first time, and especially Norse berserkers that they get. Yeah. So here's a little interesting factoid. So apparently Norse shamans, what they would do is ingest magic mushrooms, piss, take the pee, get another shaman to drink it, pee again, and I guess as it goes through that process, after someone urinates with it in their system, it gets more and more potent. And once it goes through about 6 or 7 shamans, they pass it to their berserker warriors, and they get fucked. Like, they're wearing nothing but like a bear pelt, a wolf pelt, whatever, and they think they're an animal. So if you're, a British old knight and you see this freaking wild man coming at you with an axe and snarling like a bear, yeah, legends get started.
Yeah, well, and it is interesting, and there's a part of me that wants to talk about how science can debunk that whole theory, but I won't.
What, debunk the mushrooms?
No, the urination. Your body filters. And so if you go through enough filtering processes, it's like, that's why I said, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know. I eat my mushrooms once a year and that's it.
Yeah, well, and like I said, it's lore, right? That's the thing about lore is there's so many different interpretations.
Yeah.
But honestly, the whole vampire lycanthrope, all of it fascinates me. I do lean more toward the vampire side, and it's interesting because I've sat and had conversations with Dr. Mom about it. Like, my blood lineage leads back to Native American ancestry, and when I look at personality and personality types and stuff like that, the things that I do, like in my life and for other people and stuff like that, it kind of leans on the edge of shamanism.
Mm.
And when you look at the attributes of a shaman, not all, don't get me wrong, but when you look at some of the traits and attributes of a shaman, they very much mimic the traits and attributes of vampires. Personality-wise, obviously good versus evil, we have two different sides there, but I mean the charm and the wit and the, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it was kind of an interesting road to take to see where those things that I find like super interesting to me can actually be related to other aspects of my life that are actually real. So, no, just interesting, like I said.
See, I got no culture. I'm a fucking mutt. Lucky bastard.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not 100% Native American. On my mother's side of the family, our ancestry has been traced back to. I've gotten as far back as like the mid 1500s in England, and there's, let's see, my mom's. Oh shoot! And I know she's watching this, so she's gonna kill me. But my mom's grandparents, one of them was full-blooded English, the other one was full-blooded German. So, and it's funny because I used to joke with people and say, well, I've got German blood, I think there's Irish blood, and Native American. So I was destined to be a mean drunk. Of course, I really don't drink, so.
Well, yeah.
Just a funny joke.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of jokes, how do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
Fuck. Follow his Fresh Prince.
There you go.
I thought we were going to go a whole episode. We were 7 minutes away. Fuck!
No.
Damn it! So close. So close. I'm like, if I keep him busy long enough, maybe he'll forget.
I actually almost did forget which joke I was gonna use, and then, I don't know, it just popped in my head. I guess I don't know.
Damn it!
Maybe dementia's going in and out for Wilhelm too.
Mm.
So.
Oh god. Well, we got a few minutes left. Anything else you want to cover, bud?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean,
You want me to go on about Twitch shit?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, if you pay attention to YouTube, I have been posting some of the VODs from our previous Twitch content. We did one episode of Jamie's Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. Really, wow, it really Greek inspired, and it seems like it's gonna ramp up really, really quickly. So please check it out. We posted Kyle's birthday stream, the Honey Heist. That was a fuck ton of fun. Where I did my homage to French Canadians because Javin busts my balls all the fucking time about it. Today after work, I'll try to get the last two Sea of Fallen Stars uploaded. That way that's done. And then, yeah, we should have a couple more games this week. I know Wednesday, obviously, we'll be streaming that. And then, yeah, go from there.
Yeah, and we will have another one page Wednesday before the Sea of Fallen Stars game. Rose is doing Crash Pandas. At least that's what's on the board for now. I don't know if anything will change between now and then, but we do have Crash Pandas Wednesday before Sea of Fallen Stars.
Thank you for telling me.
Yep.
I'm writing that down.
When is Jamie's game? Is that like Tuesday or something?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if we're gonna... I'm waiting to hear if we're gonna stream going forward that one.
Oh.
Because there might have been a miscommunication. I'll leave it at that. So we'll see.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just want to thank everybody who's either tuning in live or watches VOD. Again, with this show, you never know what's coming. I think Gordie and I had maybe 2 conversations about what to talk about this morning. And I think Monsters of the Multiverse was about the only thing we actually decided on talking about. Everything else is made up on the spot. Some of the best conversations we have are made up on the spot. So, but we appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, whether it's live here or if you catch the VOD on YouTube, links are below. Come join us in the Discord, make some new friends, play some D&D. Like Gordie mentioned earlier, a lot of DMs, a lot of great DMs running some great games. And not just D&D, a lot of different tabletop games. And if you're a video gamer, we've got a lot of video gamers in here that are always playing. They stream sometimes. So, hot tub stream. I tell you what, with all the snow, well, most of the snow's gone now, but the last few days with all the snow, I wouldn't mind having a hot tub. I'd stream out of a hot tub.
I can't afford a hot tub. They're too much maintenance.
Well, so we just go find somebody else's hot tub and stream from their house.
Yeah, all right. That's fine.
Cool.
Do we have to know them?
Well, so if we don't know them, I think timing is the issue. Like, we have to make sure they're not home and things like that. But I don't know. We're getting into some possible legal activity, so maybe we should change the subject.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. So eventually we'll get Jill off his ass to start doing Saturday morning cartoons. So we actually have something to lead the show into. I'm going to bust his balls about it today. And then, thanks everybody for coming to hang out with us. And we'll see you in the Discord. And let's play out. I love this.
Gordie and Willhelm in the morning.
Bye, everybody.